Example 2. I have copied out our steps from example 1 over here on the side. So then that way you can come back in here, just follow the steps. Now, step 1, we have to factor the denominator. So this denominator has a number in front of the x squared, which means this is our more complicated factoring. So we do first times last. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. We need to multiply to this number and add to our middle number. So let's see, that's going to be negative 2 and a positive 1. That multiplies to negative 2 and adds to a negative 1. So the next thing we do is separate our middle one into negative 2x and a positive 1x using those numbers we just came up with, and then factor out what we can. So these have a 2x in common, these have a 1 in common, which means this is going to factor to x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. There's our more complicated factoring brief review, just in case you've forgotten when we did this earlier in the year. So now I have x plus 5 over x minus 1, 2x plus 1. So that's step 1, factor the denominator, check. Step 2, I need to split it up. So I'm going to have a over my first factor plus b over my second factor. Step 2, split up, check. Step 3, multiply. So I'm going to multiply this one by my denominator. And then since I did that one, I need to multiply everything else by my denominator. Those cancel, those cancel, those cancel. So I have x plus 5 equals a times 2x plus 1 and b times x minus 1. So that's step 4. I wrote out what's left. Step 5, simplify and organize. So we're going to distribute. I got a times 2x, 2ax. A times 1 is a. B times x is bx. And b times negative 1 minus b. Organize my like terms together. These both have x's. These do not have x's. Then step 6, factor out my like terms. These have an x in common. Remember with the last video, I'm specifically factoring it out behind instead of in front. These don't have anything in common. Now, these go with our x, so that goes with our secret 1 in front of our x. So we can say 2a plus b equals 1. And these go with our number that does not have an x. So a minus b equals 5. And there's our step 7 system. And now we can solve it using any method you want. I notice very quickly that my b's have opposite signs, so I can just add these together and my b's go away. So I get 3a equals 6. I get a equals 2. Plug it back into either equation to solve for b. And then finally write out my whole answer, which is my original equation, but plug in 2 for a and negative 3 for b. And there we go. That is your second example of partial fraction decomposition. And then now, both of these two examples that we just did are actually fairly simple examples. In the next video, we're going to start to make things more complicated by making our denominator look more complicated. I'll see you there.